All right, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to the Struggling Day Trader channel. The name is Hassan, and this channel is about my struggle to become a profitable day trader. Been day trading about 3 years now. Still struggling with a few things, but I'm streaming my journey live, trading live every market open. If you want to be a part of my journey, man, hit that like button and subscribe. Anyway, let's go over my trades for the day. Pretty cool day. Let's see. My first trade was on the SQs. I actually took a 2-minute opening range breakout. Um, It was just pretty good. It was narrow. It was narrow range, and thought it looked pretty good, and it worked out well. Perhaps if I had added down here, excuse me, or maybe on the break of that candle instead of way up here, I might have. Because honestly, I was expecting it to get to VWAP and possibly turn around, which is why I got my stop up to where it needed to be. I did touch 3R right there, but there really wasn't uh, a low yet. Like a spot to put my stop. So I think in that case I should have just grabbed a 2R. But I'm more leaning towards best case scenario than worst case scenario. So I'm leaning towards this thing bouncing topside and the market selling off and SQ's going higher. But yeah, so anyway, I did move my stop to break even, and so I lost um 25 cent. Or no. I actually was green 25 cent after this trade. And then I took this reversal down here later in the day. Um and I regretted it right when I got in. Thankfully, I only got 5 shares. So I just basically lost 28 cent. So no big deal. But I didn't like this because this is trading against the trend, right? This thing's trending down all day. And now I'm trying to trade against the trend, which I mean, okay, is a reasonable idea that it'll come back to VWAP and bounce, right? But in order to do that, it would have to move counter trend. And to count on that, is coming again. You have to be at a significant level, significant reversal pattern. And that's not what this was. It just made a higher high down here. But I mean, looking back, I don't really see. Okay, the 15. Maybe the 15 is what I was looking at. Yeah, okay. But I mean, you gotta wait for a double bottom. But anyway, I don't want to do this. To me, if this is happening and I want to trade this I would be looking for trades with the trend, like short trades. Or I should be back over here on the Qs, right? So anyway, after I stopped out on the Qs, I came over here and saw this 15-minute setup here. Just kind of look at the flow from pre-market, man, just flowing up, and then we just basically just pulled back to VWAP, hammer candle. So I took the buy, the break over the high of this candle, and rolled that bad boy up. What, 3R? Yeah, nice 3R trade. Um, I when I was looking at this and I was managing on the 5, sometimes depending on the volume, you can kind of tell how to manage it. And you see with this, you're not getting any real looking pullbacks. I mean, you got these bottoming tails, which tell you that it came down and tested and then got bought back up. But it's not like a clear higher low to place your stop. So sometimes I'll drop down a time frame, and then you can kind of see some higher lows to try and manage your trade on. But I don't think there was really a way for me to stay in this trade for this pullback. It's really the first real 5-minute pullback, honestly. Um, these aren't really, I mean, kind of right here, kind of, but not really. Maybe actually this one, yeah, I guess I would count that as a pullback. Yeah, it just wasn't a way for me to stay in this trade for this pullback. But I ended up getting back in when it broke back over high of day, and I I risked down to this level. Oh no, what happened here? No, I didn't risk much at all on this one. This was just a high of day. I think I tucked my stop under that 15, and then after it made this low and started moving back up, I just went ahead and moved my stop up under this red candle here, and stopped out when it pulled back in for I think maybe $1 loss. And then I'm thinking, okay, I'm waiting for it to break back out, and then I'm looking at this level here, man, and how it tested here, broke up, tested, traded up, came back through, bought back up, tested. And so I'm like, maybe this is a good spot. So even though I made a lower high compared to this, but it was only by a couple pennies. This low was 444.28, and this low was 444.22. So it made a lower $400 stock made a lower low by 6 cents. Not really that significant. And especially both of these points are, kind of above this level that I had drawn. So, which is 444. And so I decided, instead of waiting for the high of day, I like this bounce, this volume that came in as it was pulled in, and then this nice bullish candle on the 5. I liked it, and so I bought it and put my stop under 444 and rolled that bad boy up, rolled that bad boy up. And yeah, it worked out. So the question, I guess, is, had this failed, would I be upset with myself? Would that be a rule break? Yeah, even got this test over here from yesterday. I feel like I'm always gonna have a hard time with this, because I feel like I'm getting better and better at reading the price action, and these kind of trades don't help. They don't help because it's kind of like verifying, my thoughts. But uh, yeah, see, I wanted to give it room for this kind of pullback, but I didn't want to risk. It's already moved so much. I really want to be there for the move through 449, but that might be tomorrow. It's moved a lot today. Set on the daily. Decent day. Decent day. This could be a nice open tomorrow, maybe over a gap up over 450 or something. Maybe the market will come back to life, and it's not over. But so I really like how I handled the open. I like how I handled the open. Not the best 2-minute opening range breakout. Hold on, let me. It's not bad. That's not bad. Honestly, my expectations for this were pretty low, but I did like how the price action. I should have kept it on the 2-minute and kind of played it up. I think adding over the break of this high would have been the best place to add, and just tighten my stop just a little bit if I was gonna add it all. And it's really not necessary, honestly. Let's see, 1044 up to 1067. Yeah, that's 20. That's almost 3R. Yeah, so I guess the reason I touched 3R in this little bit of time was from this ad right here. But yeah, that ad would have been a much better place down here. Yeah. Yeah, I think adding late to this trade, it made it to where I wasn't ready. Like, if I added here, by the time the trade got up here, you know, it would have been a more significantly into the R's, and I would have been more aggressive about taking my profit. But it was really just getting going from my ad, and I wanted to see, you know, what it was gonna do, if it was gonna do anything over VWAP. But I mean, not terribly traded. You know, I'm glad I managed my stop well, and you know, didn't leave a bunch of risk on the table, you know, for hoping that it would bounce back or anything like that. You know, I got to 2R, moved my stop to break even. It got to 3R. I would have had to be real aggressive to move my stop up to capture it because it didn't stay very long at all. Um, but yeah, I mean, looking at these tails, man, it wouldn't have been it would have been wise to capture that. That would have been really cool. So yeah, I think it would have been a better move to capture something on that. But anyway, once I stopped out and it's looking again, like I said, I flipped over to the Qs and traded well on the Qs, traded well in the trend. Um, this trade was a break-even trade that I was too scary about. I didn't want to give back much, so I was being really aggressive with my stop, and but I got right back in. Yeah, I talked through that already. Yeah, so I think the biggest takeaway today is just that I want to be trading in the direction of the trend. And so when I get stopped out on one side, I can't just jump to the other side unless, you know, there's a significant trend break, you know, to the upside. Like because if I just jump back over here, this is a whole downtrend. So I would have to wait for at the very least a reclaim of VWAP, but that reclaim of VWAP would have to be over a significant level. Maybe a really good setup on the 15, higher high, higher low over VWAP, you know, on a high time frame, especially at, you know, later in the day. But yeah, I think it's getting more clear when it's going to be okay to switch. And yeah, but you know, today was a kind of an easy to trade day. Kind of an easy to trade day. Um, yeah, I'm feeling okay about that performance. I did add high of day breakout to my list yesterday, to my playbook yesterday. Um, so playing this was not outside of my rules for today for sure. Let's see. But maybe these two were because this isn't technically a high of day breakout. This is a dip buy at support. What's that look like on the 5? Yeah, basically a dip buy at support. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, you know, it was a good trade though. Hmm. This is where the line gets really blurred, man. Because on days like today, I take this trade and you know I feel like I was being clear minded and I saw something that was there and that's why I took it and see look it was there. I did see it and it worked. But if I stop out, then it's a rule break. I'm not supposed to buy it inside the range. Um, hmm, interesting. But given that I realized I was buying inside the range, I was wanting to buy at the bottom of the range or off of the bottom of the range. Yeah, it still is seeming like a cloudy operation. Cloudy operation. Um But these trades were a bit recreational. These were actually like this last trade was $3 risk because I was at 28 and I was like, all right, I'll risk down to 25. So a $3 risk trade, just for the sport of it, basically. Um, Kind of sharpening my price action skills and playing with the trend as it's bouncing around. Um, yeah, I guess we'll see, man. Uh, uh, yeah, I just really feel like I'm reading these a lot better, and I just kind of have to follow my right mind. And when I follow my right mind, I do pretty well. When I get when I get too wound up in what I want, like as far as getting greedy and wanting certain levels of profits and wanting things to happen, that's usually where I start messing up. So yeah, man, it's been a cool couple days. Was I green yesterday? I think I was green yesterday. Yeah, I was green yesterday. Was I green yesterday? No, I was red like a mug yesterday. I was red like a mug yesterday. That's funny. Um, yeah, so we got a little something back. Yeah, I forgot. Yesterday was -6 R, so +3 R today, 3.5 R. Um, yeah, you just gotta be patient, man, and let the chart talk to you, man. Sometimes the 5 is choppy, and you gotta, rely more on the 15. And sometimes the 2 is really clean, you know. But the 5 is my bag right now. I'm in my bag on the 5 minute chart. I feel like that for real. um, yeah, I feel like that for real. So we gonna get it, man. We gonna get it. We'll come back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Focus Friday, and I'm going to just try to be focused and play what's on the chart, man. Just whatever the chart gives me, take it. And I think it's okay to manage on the fives and just take that upside of the move. And the major pullback, that's just that's not the side of the move. I can catch that side of the move if I want to take a partial, but I think definitely for the majority of the move, managing on the five seems to be working really well for me. Um, it's giving me the best stops today for sure. On this first move up, it was the best stop, and on this trade, it was the best stop. Got me out pretty much break even, and this trade, I basically it was running holding up here. Um, hmm. The only thing is if I had my stop below this candle, I would have been so sad to get stopped out there. So I'm happy that after these two red candles, I went ahead and tightened my stop. Like, hey man, if it falls back in, it's probably going down, you know. So that was well played. And then right here, I moved my stop here first, and then up to here. Once we made that high, and then when we made this high, moved it up to here, and I did have it up here, but I felt like that was too tight and I wanted to give it some more room. And so I did sacrifice uh, a bit on this last trade by wanting to give it more room. It's just, on that first move up, that 5 minute chart is where it's at for me. For me, it's been, I really like managing on it. It's been pretty consistent. And that, paired with the 15, I think I'm starting to get this thing down a little bit. Definitely like looking at the hourly a lot and kind of just kind of just looking where it's at, you know, on the bigger scale, how it's been making its moves and the ranges that it gets stuck in, you know, and just looking at where it's at the range. And so, you know, this is a reasonable place to take profit at the very top of that range. But I was also holding excited if it broke that range. And that's what I think tomorrow could be a lot of fun if we break over that range. But honestly, to me, it feels like a fake out. I think we're probably gonna trend down to I think we might tap 450 again, and I think we'll probably be lookout below, man. I don't know. I'm hoping for a move up though. Definitely hoping for a prosperous market, and I think we got enough blood in the streets for now. You know, love to see things move up from here, but we'll see, man. We ready for whatever. We ready for whatever, man. Anyway, that's all I got for today. I appreciate you hanging out with me in the live stream today, man. It's been really live, man. Getting more and more people in there. Man, you know, pop in and type something in the chat, man. Say what's up. Let me know where you from, all that good stuff. Also in the comments, man, let me know what you guys traded. And man, if you guys sitting around here listening to me ramble for 20 minutes, man, y'all on my squad, man. I appreciate y'all, man, for hanging out with me and being a part of my journey, man. Anyway, hit that like button for me, subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you guys in the morning for Focus Friday. Peace.